All right, how everybody doing? Um, don't think I'm drunk or nothing like that. I ain't intoxicated. I'm not because I don't drink. I don't use drugs. I used to drink. I used to be alcoholic. I used to use drugs and things like that. But at this point, I knew I'm talking like I'm drunk. But I got high blood and my voice changing, and my voice is dragging. So I'm not on no kind of drugs, no kind of alcoholic beverages. I've been off drugs for 15 years. I've been off cigarette for about 13 or 14 years, and I've been off alcoholic beverages for a while. So I'm off drugs, alcoholic beverages, and things like that because too many times I was overdoing it with drugs and I used to get lost with drugs. I had to have drugs. When I have problems, I turn to drugs. But I stopped doing that because I got to a point. I just feel like I shouldn't, so I stopped it. But I'm just trying to figure out a thing or two about politics, and all the politicians they always making promises, and yet it's a human thing. They make promises, but they keep it. Well, what I mean by that, they all tell they say they gonna start unemployment. Well, a lot of people are losing their job, and a lot of people are being homeless on the street with no job, but yet they admit that hey, when I came in, unemployment went down. Well, that's not according to people that are homeless and losing their home. They say crime they say snapping in, crime went down. They tell you how the percent that crime went down. But yeah, more and more people have been incarcerated. So it's like, I really don't know what's going on. But every time, every president tell you, since I've been in office, things getting better. And people believe it. And some people say, yeah, things got better, so they got office. Things is better, and this and that. I listened to Donald Trump yesterday, and I don't know where he coming from. He say something that makes sense, but do he mean what he say? Yeah, he say something. If I know he mean what he say, I might even vote for him. But politicians say things, but they don't mean it. And sometimes things they say they're gonna do to get rubbed, they do something to keep it going. But Donald Trump did make sense to me when he was talking about those transgender, what transgender, what you call, only call them, but transgender, he said they have no business in women's sports. And I agree with him. They have no business in women's sports. And he said he gonna, kind of like cut down on them. But I know that at one time, Donald Trump was the I think the leader owned Miss Universe Passion, and Donald Trump had a friend John going to sue him because Donald Trump told that friend John, you can't be in a Miss Universe Passion. But on that one where Donald Trump coming from, because Donald Trump kept on saying, he was really glorifying this transgender, by saying, he got it worried him that what that transgender gonna do to him. He kept on saying, she won't be in the Miss Universe pageant, and she got lawyers. And he kept on saying, she got lawyers. But he kept on calling her she, but the word of it is, if you're a boner man, there's nothing man can do to make you a woman. But he did say something yesterday. First of all, he talked about what he did for the people and everything now, and what he did and all of it. He said because of him, he saved everything. He saved the economy, and he saved America. And he was kind of like boasting about all the things he done, for the people. But yeah, he gives that and say that transgender, a man, well, he just say a man shouldn't be in women's sport. So like, I don't know whether or not he changed or not, but I wouldn't. I'm not gonna vote. Number one, I'm not gonna vote because I don't know what's going on. And believe me, I'm not an expert in the political world. I don't know about political matters. I can debate about things that that I'm aware of, but I'm not too much into about. I'm not too much into democracy, foreign affairs, and nothing like that. I'm just in mostly everyday thing. Okay, uh, I'm gonna get all politics because I'm not gonna say I'm an expert with politics, not like that because I'm not an expert. And like I've been telling the people, I got a sixth grade education. I don't know how to read, and I don't know math or nothing like that. I wasn't able to get into things because by the time I got to fourth grade, my PE teacher, Mr. Austin Knight, he had me out on the PE field fighting. I was in fight after fight, and in the PE field, you supposed to exercise, play softball, but he had me entertaining the boys on the PE field by me fighting, and it wasn't a boxing. We wasn't boxing, wrestling. We were into a homeward down fight. Like you fight on the street. That was kind of fight he had me in, and like I didn't get along with the little other little boy. They didn't like me because I didn't play a game. I told them it was all right for them to do it, but don't do me like that. Little boy back then, when I was going to school, they used to get their finger like this. It's like, they get their finger and they feel another boy behind. Another boy will run and feel him behind. I told them, don't do me like that. Y'all could do one another like that, but I did that early in my days. I would say by the time I got to second grade, they know not to do me like that. I told them, don't do me like that. You can do one another like that, but I don't play like that. And even they had this thing called, they tell somebody called them a punk. And when that person said, you're a punk, they say, I'm a punk, you're a trunk, I get you boo every month. Well, I didn't play a game. I didn't go for it. I didn't call them nothing like that. I didn't, I don't know. I don't play no kind of game. So kids, they used to throw rocks at me. They would team me, triple team me. They lie on me because I didn't play the game. So it was, I just had a lot of trouble coming up as a kid. My brothers was against me. I had, they were into it, but I wasn't. And I had family members against me because my cousin, they sons into it, but I'm not into it. So I really didn't have too many friends because my thing was, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Like, if you want to fool around with other guys, if you want to get into homosexuality, go ahead and do it. But I said, for me, when it comes to sex, I'm only going to share a moment with a female. And they hold against me because that was my life right there. They hold against me because I didn't do what they did. They hold against me because I had my ups and downs, and I had my faults, everything else. But in the general, I did the wrong things. But in general, I respected female. I just know, I couldn't get along with the guy. When I got older, I know sometimes when I was on drugs, me and the guy get around and we take drugs, and they might say something like, in the matter, hey, black people got shit together. You know, back in the 70s, in 1971, 72, 73, 74, back in those years, they were talking, most guys talking about black people get shit together. The white folks run game on up. And that, we all talking about how black people get shit together, and we all agree with one another. Now, out of nowhere, they change the topic, and then we get on more like a joking side, but they serious, and they talk about, yeah, they call a woman name, and they say, we need to, what I'm gonna do, I gotta make a money off these women, I'm gonna be a pimp, and I'm gonna let them prostitute themselves, and I'm gonna let them goddamn prostitute themselves, and make me money. I'm gonna be a pimp, and this and that. And when I tell them something like, well, you just say that black people got to sit together and black people got to love one another and do things for one another. But yeah, you talk about putting your black sister into prostitution. And I said the prostitution, they gotta get when they right there prostituting themselves, they gotta get in these junk cars, they get hurt, they can get killed, they can go to jail, they can go in the future. I'm just naming. So a lot of times they turn against me because I didn't go along with them. So they did turn against me. So that got me about friends. And my sister, she was against me because my brothers, they was the homosexual, but I wasn't, and she took side with them over me. So that's the kind of life I had to live. Unexpected life. It's just something that I just couldn't understand why I couldn't accept them as being homosexual, but they could not accept me not being homosexual. So I could understand that, but still, they were against me, and I just got to a point that I just cut away from everybody and started hanging by myself, off and on. Sometimes I get back, but for some reason, when I do hang around people, it seems like the only thing I can hang around is guys. I never really advanced too much hanging around females because guys they don't like that, and they give me a rough time, this and that. But I won't dwell on that too much. I'll dwell on more like what about the Bible. Okay, now I'm just talking about how corrupt things is. Number one, you're not expecting your leaders, like your politicians, you're not expecting them to be that corrupt and that much a liar. Because you find out about them and you say, wow, I thought I could trust them. And you think you can trust your leader. And you find out your leader is lying to you and unexpected thing happen. But then it gets a little deeper when you find out religion is lying to you, your own religion lying to you, the Bible is lying to you, everything else. Well, let me give you an example. Can you believe in the Bible? Well, can you believe in the Bible? I just know that John 3:16, John 3:16, well, number one, if you go to church, I'm gonna put both sides in it. I'm gonna put both sides in it, and I'm not gonna take sides. All right? If you go to the church, King Hall Joe Witness, well, what they preach, same thing on that, on just that alone. They say that if God, and Joe Witness organization in the church, preacher and brothers in the organization, they say if that they get to that point, they start talking about God loves something, it's gonna always be him. They say they say, well, God won't, it's gonna always be him. When God loves something, it's gonna be him. They talk about Bible history, how God delivers certain people. Like Israelite, he delivered them from Pharaoh. And on and on. And Moses delivered them out of dangerous things. But they said because God loved them. But they said God loves something. No matter what God loves, it's gonna always be him. because God loves it, and nobody can stop it from being Him if God loves it. Yeah, in John 3:16, it say, God so loved the world so much until he gave his only begotten son, whoever believes in him will not perish, but gain everlasting life. But he said God so loved the world in John 3:16. But in 1 John 2:17, according to Joe, well, sometimes the Bible conflict. The New Testament conflict with the New World Translation of Joe Winner of Jesus, but this time they all say the same thing. So I'm just going to quote the New World Translation on John, 1 John 2:17. 1 John 2:17 say the world is passing away, but New Testament say the word passing away, but it all means the same thing. So that it won't be no debate on different point of view. They all have to have the same point of view, same point of view on the Bible on that. A lot of times in the Bible, it might be a controversy on who's telling the truth. But in the New World Translation, it says 1 John 2:17, it says, the world is passing away, and so is they decided. But he that does the will of God remains forever. Well, God loved the world, and the Bible says God loved the world. And John 3:16, well, where is John passing away? The Bible says it's in the Bible. In John 3:16, it says God so loved the world until he gave his only begotten son, whoever believes in him will not perish, but gain life. But this say in John 3:16, God loved the world. But yet, in 1 John 2:17, it says the word passing away. Well, God loved the world, where is one passing away? So, things like that, I'm trying to figure out, but there's too many things people figuring out. But then in religion, church and Jill Winhall organization share the same point of view on this one. They have a conflict when it comes down to who going to heaven or who going to hell. Jill Winfrey that it's only going to be 144,000 that going to heaven. Sherry, people that good go heaven and the rest of them go hell. And Joel Wynn be that God is a tumor, a good God to torment somebody for eternity in hell. But I won't get to Armageddon is bad. They say nothing better than Armageddon, but God can put Armageddon on you. But I won't get into that too much. But I will get into something I can understand. And I just have to do my own thing at a certain time. The Bible says, walk by faith, not by sight. Well, I choose to walk by sight, not by faith. Well, if I'm gonna go to the supermarket, I'm gonna go to that supermarket. I'm not gonna say because I'm walking by sight. I'm going to the supermarket. Well, if I'm going to the supermarket because I'm hungry, I gotta get some food, roasted. Well, I'm going to that supermarket. But you walk by faith. I can walk by faith and go to a car lot. Like a TV shop. Like even a bar. I can have faith that I'm gonna get some food, but it ain't gonna be no food at the car lot. It ain't gonna be the food in the bar. So the grocery is so where you gonna get that groceries at. So, but the Bible says, walk by faith, not by sight. But faith is the unknown. So I can get hungry. I can get hungry, and I want me some barbecue ribs, and some probably some collard greens, potato salad, and stuff like that. See, but I can say, I got faith. I mean barbecue ribs. I got faith. I mean collard greens. I got faith. I mean potato salad. But I don't eat something. If a person don't eat something, they're gonna die from hunger. They have all the faith they want. They eating good. but they're gonna have a hunger pain, and they don't eat after a while. They're gonna die from hunger. A person might be in the desert. They got faith that they drinking water, but they're not drinking water. They don't have no water in about a week, and they dying out. Well, faith don't keep you alive. So if you walk by sight, you walk by what you see. So I choose to walk by sight, not by faith. So at that point that they got that thing going, walk by faith, not by sight. That seems like a brainwashing thing that the Bible bring on. Like um, if you walk by faith, not by if you walk by faith and not by sight, well, first thing you'll say that Bible in the book of Genesis. Now, if I'm wrong, uh, I think that we're at. I'm gonna quote scripture, but I might be wrong because it's been about since I look at that scripture, it's been probably 30 years. So I might have the wrong number. But I think Genesis 2:16. It might be Genesis 1:16. I forgot what it was, but it's in the early part of Genesis. It's a God created Adam from dust, and he made Adam from dust, and he blew breath, and Adam Noah and Nasha, and made a human life. Adam a human life. Right now, Adam was watching the animals, and the animal was making out. And Adam saw the animals. He saw the male animals with a mate. So he wanted a mate. He said, God, I want a mate. So what God did, God, after he created Adam from dust, God, he went far gave, told Adam he had given him a mate. So God put, according to that Bible, God put Adam in a country situation and put him in a country and performed operation on Adam. And he took a rib from Adam and made Eve. Well, they said power, God got power and God can do anything. Well, I'm just wondering why he couldn't say rather than free for dust, why did he just say, okay, there go a man? Why he got to kind of like all painting? You done line painting. Well, you're not painting from ability. You just use the line painting. When you're not baking a cake, you use the cake mix. How come God could just say, there go a man, and then wait, just say, and wave his hand, and there go a man. How come he has a free from dust? Now, the Bible says God loves us. It do say, according to the New World Translation and the New Testament agree with it, it says that I think it's John 4:8. John 4:8 say that people may know. No. What's it? The Bible just say at John 4:8 that. Oh yeah, I know what I got. John 4:8 say that if that if you let's see, I got a little confused been so long that you may know God is I trying to get that together. Give me a little something. All right, that John 4:8 say that that people that does not love, if you don't, it sounds like this. It may not be word for word, but the same thing that people if you don't love, you don't you, if you don't love, you have to come to know God because God is love. That was First John 4:8 say. If you don't love, you have to come to know God because God is love, and that according to John 4:8. Well, the Bible do say that God is love. Well, uh, I'm not gonna get no conflict whether or not God is love or not, but my thing is, if God loves people so much, I'm thinking about how come He made us out of dust. He would love us. It seems like He got to get us from something better than dust. Um, free, there's so many things you can free from, something pure, but not dust. Because, if a woman baking a cake, all of a sudden she mixing up and that cake mix, and she made that cake mix, and trying to bake it before she bake it, and she set it in the window. And when she set it in the window, a wind blow dust in that cake. What you know that woman gonna do? She gonna throw that cake away. The wind blow dust in it. So automatically dust is got germs and why? So now she throw that cake away and get another cake, make another cake, and she gonna make sure dust don't get in it. Well, we can't do that because God made us out of dust. So if God loves so much, how could He make her out of dust? How could He make her something true? Maybe it gotta be better than this. Let's just use that example. How could He make her out of diamonds, gold, something like the pure rain, maybe even anything but dust. Because he made man out of dust. Now all of a sudden he made man out of dust. But he thought less about women. Rather than make women out of dust too, he took a real from Adam and made Eve. Now, if I walk by faith, not by sight, I will believe that Bible. If I walk by faith, not by sight, I'm going to believe God made us from dust, and then he made women by taking a man real and made a woman. And that was in the Bible. That's in the book of Genesis, the early part of Genesis. If I'm not correct, it might be Genesis 1:16, maybe 2:16, but it's in the early part of Genesis. God took a real man and made Eve. And like I say, if you walk by faith, not by sight, you're gonna believe God made man from dust, and God took a rib. You're gonna believe God took a rib from Adam and made Eve. If you walk by faith, well, if you walk by faith, you're gonna say, yeah, the Bible says that God took a rib from Adam and made Eve. Well, you're gonna walk by faith. You're gonna believe that. If you don't walk by sight, but if you walk by sight, you'll say, well, only that I know, I saw a woman pregnant. I saw a woman, like they show on TV sometimes. Women that get pregnant and they deliver a baby, they show on TV about women in labor and bringing the baby in the world. And they show you how a baby come out of the mama. So automatically, you walking by sight. You know that woman is bringing that baby in the world. So you walk by sight. You don't see God take a rib from a man and make a kid or make a woman or nothing like that. But you do see a woman bringing babies in the world. So the Bible say that man brought woman here. But that you don't believe that. You walk by faith, not by sight. But you walk by sight, you'll say women brought man here. All that I know, I just see the women bringing babies in the world. That's all you see. You see women bring babies in the world. So you're walking by sight, not by faith. When you walk by faith, not by sight, you're going to believe that man brought women to him, and women didn't bring man here. A man and a woman come from man's real. You're going to believe that. Or you walk by faith, not by sight. Or you say, I'm going to walk by what I see. I'm going to walk by what I see. I'm not going to walk by faith because faith is the unknown. But sight, you see it for yourself. Sight is reality. Faith is more like a fantasy. You know, if somebody borrow money from you and tell you they're gonna pay you back Friday, well, you got faith that person's gonna pay you back if you trust that person. But then most times you don't get your money back. So I'm just saying that's where I drop off at because I started walking by faith. I started walking by sight. So I gave up on that solution that God took a rib from Adam and made Eve. And I would say that many Jehovah's Witness brothers hated me because I made that point. I just say I tried to ask some questions, and they really actually hated me because they favorite talk. God took a rib from Adam. They sit back with their wife or their woman or particularly their wife, and they sit back in the shell. And when brothers on the platform getting a talk about L and E out of anything, they say, They show you in the Bible, and they open up that Bible so everybody can see when they got their own Bible. They say God took a river Allen and made Eve. Well, they test you about that. You say that don't make no sense. Well, they get mad, and they will even make threats at you about now God told River Allen may eat. But me, I had to, I was brought up in jail with a faith, so I had to kind of like just study that and say, all right, I'm not gonna walk by faith. I'm gonna walk by sight. All that I know, I see a pregnant woman. Only thing I know that I watched the TV program. I didn't. This one program come on. I didn't know I was pregnant. There was another program come on. Teenage pregnancy. And we know what teenage girl is pregnant. But actually, I had saw it myself at movies. Even when I was a little kid, my dad brought me to a driving movie where a woman was delivering the baby. And I saw that baby come from their mama vagina. I saw it myself. So I'm not no longer walking by faith. I'm walking by sight. So I saw women bring babies in the world. But I never saw God or nobody take a rib from man and make a woman. I never saw it. But if I walk by faith and not by sight, well, I'm going to say God told River Allen may eat. But if I walk by sight, not by faith, I'm going to say the only thing I see is women bringing babies in the world. I don't see God. I don't see nobody taking a rib from nobody, bringing life in the world. So at that point, when I compare it with First John, with John 3:16, where it says God so loved the world so much that he gave his own begotten Son, but he loved the world. And then First John 2:17 say the word passes away. And when you see things like that, and you see a confliction in there. Of course, they can talk their way out and say, well, no, that don't mean that. There's a preacher, Joe Wednesday, they don't mean that. It means this or that. Well, but yeah, the fight show that, that is that way because, I know there's a guy that used to be a newsman on WEH Channel 2. I think his name is Nancy Wright, but he used to be a man, he used to be a newsman. And he used to get news on TV many years ago. Where his brother was giving a talk about how it's going to be a new system. And he said that in the new system, I'm listening to him, he said in the new system, but that was a long time ago, but he said, I think that was around in probably in the 90s, somewhere in the 90s. He said, in the new system, we're going to be so happy to be in the new system because we did God the right thing. We did things God's way. We did God's will. Now we get a new system. And he said, everything right new system. It's going to be perfect. You're going to love being in a new system. He said that in a new system, he said every morning from here on out, you'll be trying a happy chill. From here on out, you'll be trying a happy chill. Because you're so touched about the beautiful thing God did for her. God brought animals in. You'll be a beautiful wild animal, the lions and tigers and stuff like that, and snakes. You'll be a pretty wild animal. And you're gonna have the best food, and the air gonna be fresh. And when you go to bed, you ain't gonna want to go to bed. There's so many things to do. Then the brother say that in the new system, we're gonna wake up every morning, touch. We so happy until we're gonna try. We're gonna try. We're gonna shed a tear over the good thing God did for us because we touched. So I was with brother when brother get his name brother Wright, and his brother was Lindsey Wright on WEF Channel 2 News, but that was years ago. But when I told him about that, I don't see. I said, because the Joe Witness say, if it is, don't take nobody's word. If it's not in the Bible, don't take nobody's word for it. And I was brought up like that. If it's not in the Bible, don't take nobody's word. Well, so I didn't take their word because I saw walking by faith, I saw walking by sight. So I just told him, I just went through to him, and I had a Bible in my hand, his Bible, Joe Willie Bible, called New World Translation. So I told him, first of all, when I went at the meeting, I went up to him. I said, bro, right? I really enjoy your talk. And he was happy. He said, oh, you really enjoy my talk? I said, yeah. And I learned a lot from it. Yeah. He said, he was happy. He was smiling. Yeah, you like my talk. I said, yeah, I like your talk. He was happy about that. He was pleased with me on that. But I said, well, bro, right, you say that in the new season, God gonna be on the new season. We gonna be so happy until we gonna be sharing the joyful tale, right? He said, yeah. In the new season, we gonna be so joyful because God got some plan for us, and He got some reassurance for us, and God gonna be you're gonna be so happy about what going in the new season until you're gonna shed tears of joy. So I said, bro, right? Uh, I said, well, let me read this scripture to you. So I read the scripture in Revelation 21, 4 and 5. Now, I know they don't mean you're going to read. Yeah, I know that. That don't mean you're going to read. But I show in Revelation 21, 4 and 5, where it say, God should wipe out every tear from their eye. And that I showed down that from their Bible, the New World Translation. But it did say, God shall wipe out every tear from thy eye, and death will be no more. Neither will mourning or outside of pain be no more. The former thing have passed away. But it says, God shall wipe out. It doesn't say God shall wipe out the joyful tear, three tears. It says God shall wipe out every tear. That means joyful tear too. That is in the Bible. You can't, they say it's not in the Bible. Don't take nobody's word for it. Let's tell them show it in the Bible. And I told Brother Wright, I showed Brother Wright in the Bible. But God say, it's in the Bible. The Bible say, God, I read from the New World Translation to him out of the Bible, out of the New World Translation, where it say, God should wipe out every tear from the eye. That means every tear. It doesn't say God should wipe out tear, or God should wipe out three tears, or God should God will only give you have happy tear. It say God should wipe out every tear. Every tear. That's what I'm saying. That means when you say every tear, all right, if somebody say everything must die. Well, everything must die. That means the good and the bad should die. The good and the bad. It don't mean that the bad should die. It means the good and bad should die. And they say everything must die. So anything about that tear thing. The Bible says in Revelation 21, 4 and 5, it says God should wipe out every tear from the eye. So I showed him that in the Bible. And the only thing he told me is, no, that don't mean, he said, what that means, we talk about somatil. Well, I don't know what somatil means, but he kept on saying, that's a somatil. So, well, he's saying that God will wipe out a somatil. But I kept on saying what they taught me as a kid, show it to me in the Bible. I kept on saying, show it to me in the Bible. He said, no, in the Bible. I can show you in the Bible. I said, well, I can't take your word, but I'll blow up in the truth. And they say, don't never take anybody's word if they can show it in the Bible. So he got mad at me, and brother got mad at me because I say that God showed me, I show them from the Bible. I showed them from the Bible. But it say God should wipe out every tear. But now, that means some tear, joyful tear, breathing tear. But the Bible say in Revelation 21, 4 and 5, it says God should wipe out every tear. But now that's what it's about. But it did say every tear. And that's why I was, really basing my message on. But they never did show me in the Bible, and they say if it's not in the Bible, don't take nobody's word for it. They never showed me in the Bible, well, somatil. That means somatil. And no, they didn't show it in the Bible. Well, the Bible is never 21, 4, and 5. It said God should wipe out every tear. And this is the Bible. Revelation 21, 4 and 5. And God shall wipe out every tear from their eye. Death will be no more. Neither will mourning nor eye cry or pain be any more. The former thing has passed away. And I was trying to figure out how can the former thing pass away before the former thing get him. So, there's so many things that were going on in the Bible. And, like, that I saw several beginnings, in the beginning, God created the Word, and the Word was God. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, according to Genesis 1 1. So it's just so many records in the Bible. So, when I studied it, but what really got me to being suspicious about the Bible, I didn't know. I just go to Joe and talk. I just know his brother. When I tell something at one time they talk about a woman. They say a woman role in the house doing the ironing, the sewing, and the cooking, and the man role is to go out there and work and bring home the check and pay the bills. This is that man role. This is that Paul Jehovah Arnold. You learn that they say that. They say that at the Kima Hall. They say that in the publication, and when they got in field service, they preach that. Paul's God arrangement will God man go out there and do the work and bring home the paycheck and pay the bills and buy the groceries and just pay the bills themselves. That what God arrangement was. Well, God arrangement for women to stay home to the house and cooking. Well, as time go by, women were working even then, pay the bill, but it got to a point. Many women saw, or if I hate a woman, start working and pay the bills. You have to pay the bills. So at that period of time, women were out in the work in the job market, and they were out working. And I went to the brother and the Joe organization. I said, well, now, what y'all used to see at Kim Hall, Assembly, Publication, and Field Service. I was even teaching that. I got Field Service as a kid. I said, what about that? He said, women pray in the house, in the iron sewing, the cooking, and man pray is bring home. They said woman prays is one brother gave a talk, and what he put, what man supposed to do is bring home the bread. Women praise is the bread, put butter on the bread. So I was just asking about that. How come women in Geo organization, how come they working? When the Bible says, when brother was preaching that women pray in the home doing the ironing, the sewing, and the cooking. He said, the only thing they told me, was all women told me that I asked, even the committee guy, they said, it takes two to pay a bill. But I said, well, y'all give a talk saying that woman prayed in the kitchen, the iron, the sewing, the cooking, and man prayed out there in the job market, bringing home, paying the bills and stuff like that. Women don't supposed to work. But the only thing they told me, and they never repeating it, it takes two to, hey, can you get that guy back on? Yeah, I appreciate you. They say a woman prays in the kitchen, does the iron, sewing, and cooking. But I said that was the brother speaking. I said that was your main teaching. The woman prayed in the kitchen, doing the iron, the sewing, and the cooking. The only thing they say, it takes two to pay bills. But I said, well, y'all teaching that it calls God arrangement that a woman do the iron, sewing, and the cooking, and he said that way it's gonna be in the world. That's what they call it that time. Then they changed to the new system. So that the new world mean uh, you get rid of wild animals and you get rid of lions, snake, but like people gonna get along, but people gonna be perfect. But they say they're gonna go in the new system, so we gotta get used to it. A woman prays in the kitchen, doing the iron, the sewing, and the cooking, and stuff like that. But they say a man prays is working, paying the bill, and stuff like that. But yeah, as time go by, I know as time go by, better, the world got better, worse. And like prices went up. The company, company wasn't working right, and prices went up, and rent went up. And it was hard for a man to pay a bill. So women had to work and join an organization, and I told them about that, but they never had no explanation. Only thing they told me it takes two to pay the bills. Well, that's how it goes. So, I trust in the Bible. I trust in your organization. But really made me trust in that Bible when I saw it for myself. When it said God took a real man and made Eve, I trust in the Bible then. I mean, I got to the point. I saw walking by faith. I saw walking by sight. All that I know, I see a woman pregnant. That woman pregnant, I remember as a little kid, I was driving a movie with my dad, and because he took me there, and I saw a woman. I saw a baby coming in the world. And I saw a woman. I saw a naked woman as a little boy, and I saw the doctor. He go to the doctor, and the doctor said, open up her leg, and he pulled a baby out of that woman. Well, I thought, as a kid, I still believed and walk by faith, not by sight. But as time go by, I started thinking about when I was a little boy, I saw bring a baby in the world. I never seen nobody take a rib from nobody and bring life in the world. I never saw a man take a God, a man, take a dogger, take a rib from a man and make a woman. But I do see a woman to give a baby. I see pregnant women. So I'm walking by sight now. Well, I walk by faith. I say God told River Allen made Eve. But I started believing in the Bible in 1976 because things did not add up. And, I saw, looking at things like that, and I just saw, when the Bible say do something, I'm not going to take man's word. I say, the Bible's right. Believe the Bible. You got to believe the Bible because everything in the Bible is true. But yeah, when they say everything in the Bible is true, people that start believing in that Bible. But I couldn't do that. So I just saw well, as I saw getting born, I started trusting the Bible. Or maybe trust the Bible, it didn't add up. It didn't make no sense that God took a real man and made Eve. Like, if you got Adam from dust, why not make Eve from dust? So it's that thing. Like, God didn't think nothing to according to the Bible. God didn't think too much of man. He made him from dust. But he called less from a woman because he took a rib from Adam and made Eve. Now, a lot of people might say, the guy, they might knock me and say this is bad about me, but the fact is, I'm not there to defend my stand. All I'm here for is to let you know that what I saw in that Bible and let you know my way. My way is walk by faith, not by sight. Walk by sight, not by faith. But when they say walk by faith, not by sight, well, I found out by faith. Faith is the unknown. Faith is a fantasy. Even if you down, faith is a fantasy. Listen, what they saying is live in the fantasy world don't face reality. Well, when I get hungry, like when I get hungry, right now when I get hungry, my niece she cook a meal. So when I get hungry, I'm gonna eat this a China meal. She cook a China meal, so I'm gonna eat me a China meal and drink me a soda because I pretty soon I'm gonna get hungry. But at the same time, I'm gonna get hungry. Uh, if I say I'm gonna have faith, I'm eating. I'm gonna have faith on eating the China meal. Well, I'm still gonna be hungry. Faith don't get it. Faith does not feel the battle. You gotta have faith. I'm not hungry. You gotta have faith. I ain't about for real. You have faith. I'm on the devil. I'm drinking water. Well, you're not drinking water. You still gonna be thirsty. You have all the faith in the world. Well, that's what I mean. They say walk by faith, not by sight. I should walk by sight, not by faith. So that's what it is with me, and that's how I go with me everything now. Now, uh, Like the Bible do speak about certain things and superficial support the Bible, and you might say it pretty well accurate, but in Matthew 24 shelter, in Matthew 24 shelter, and right down to the 14th verse. It was talking about the coming of Christ. It said Jesus, Matthew 24 shelter, and right down to the 14th verse. It said Jesus. Well, I'm not reading it word for word. I forgot because I'm a little bit rusty with it. But it said Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, and his disciples come to him and said, "What will be a sign of your coming?" He said, "Say he," and remember, I'm not reading word for word what it say, but I'm going to tell you what it say, but I'm not quoting it word for word right, but it's the same, but it means the same thing. It says, Jesus was sitting on the mountain of Olives, his disciples came to him and said, "What will be a sign of your coming?" Jesus said, "Take heed that no man deceive you. Many will come in my name, say, I am the Christ, and deceive many. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdoms against kingdom, earth tread, food short, on and on. He just mentioned it where it was. But in the 14th verse, in the 13th verse, it says, because of literacy, and, the love of many will wax cold. If I think in the New Testament, it says because of the liberty, the love of many shall bind cold. I think what it say. In the New Testament, it say, because of the liberty, that's Matthew 24 chapter in the 13th verse. It says, because of liberty, according to the New Testament, the love of many shall bind cold. The New Word Translation, it says, because of liberty, a love of many shall wax cold. But he that endures to the end will be saved. And then it went on to say, the good news of the kingdom will be preached in all heaven and earth, for when to all nations, and then the end will come. Well, that mean we live in the last days of the end. Well, I'm gonna get to my point. Let me call another scripture, 2 Timothy, 3rd verse, 1 to 5. It say, but know this, in the last days of the end, critical time, hard to deal with will be him. For man will be lovers themselves, love of money, self-assuming, bad female. I'm tripping a little bit. Don't rush with the Bible because it's so long since I heard that scripture. Bad female, disobeying to parents, have a form of godly voice from the Bible. They say we live in the last days of the end. But at that point, we were living in the last days of the end in Bible time. In Jesus' time, that was the last days of the end. The same thing was going on, disobeying the parents, just that, things like that. But the end, not yet. But nation should have a nation, kingdom get kingdom. Well, they didn't have the kind of nation we got today, but they had war, they had food shortage. So you can't say that we live in the last days of the end. But yeah, I don't see, well, personally, in my opinion, I don't see, not my opinion, but I don't see how the world lasts so long. Because the world corrupt, politicians corrupt, they lie, they say they did so much for the people. Donald Trump out there talk about what he did for the people. Other politicians talk about when they get in office, they say, well, I cut down on the problem. I did this, one for me, we're going to have this, we're going to have that. But yeah, they make promises, but they don't keep those promises, but yet they say they did. So they lie. So my point is, with the corruption of the world, I don't know what keeping the world going. This world for been over. This world for been over, but I don't know what keeping this world going. Well, the world is still kicking. I don't know what keeping it, but it's still kicking. So eventually, I'm trying to figure out what the development of the world and what it means. But I know according to 2 Timothy the 3rd verse in 1 to 5, I just know they say, but know this in the last days saying, critical time, hard to deal with. Well, critical time, hard to deal with. what happened to the Israelites in Moses' time. Well, about further time happened when the Israelites were under influence, were slaves for Pharaoh. And Israelites were tried out to Jehovah, pre-Heaven. Pharaoh was very mean to them. But yeah, like that was trickle time. That was trickle time hard to deal with. Those Israel had a hard time. Today we have a hard time. Well, you can't say one better than another, or that you can say, both times were hard. Really, Israel they won't go on no more. They say it was trickle time, hard to deal with. And at that time, man was being lovers of themselves. They were being lovers of money. Some consumer, they were being some hardy. And well, I'm not too sure on whether or not they were disobeying the parents at that time, but according to the Bible, it had been kids didn't obey their parents. So I guess you can say they were disobeying the parents back then. But they were, it was, but the main thing, it was sugar time in Moses time, sugar time in the Israel time when Pharaoh had them slaves, it was sugar time in Jesus time. Jesus even got a lot far and said, Far, why have you forsaken me? Because going hungry and everything else at that time. There always been sugar time, hard to live with, and man always been rolling themselves, everything else. And man had no national fashion. They had no national fashion. Well, they had they had no country. Well, that been going on before population got here. Remember, Cain killed Abel, and it didn't worry him one bit. He had no national affection. When Cain killed Abel, he had no national affection. And God said, Cain, you where Abel? And Abel said, I'm not my brother keeper. So that means he showed no remorse about killing his brother. So that thing called "We Live in the Last Days of the End," well, I don't know. That could go on forever. I don't know. I don't see how, but I don't see how the world lasts as long as it did. I mean, wow. When I was a little kid, thing was corrupt. I was born in '55, but when I remember in 1960, when I was 5 years old, I remember things was corrupt. Then in 1965, they were corrupt. In 1970, they corrupt. And that thing, this world can't last too much longer. And I really believe this world can't last too much longer. Now, but I don't know about 19, when it got to 1969, the Geo Winning Committee by the word that somebody named somebody named Dr. Dean Russell, somebody say that in 1969, they don't see how the world can last for now, I think another 6 or 7 or 9 years. Well, I haven't made it up yet. Well, they said they don't see how the world can last that long. But the world did last that long. This is the year 2000. This is the year 2000 what? 2022, I think. I think it's the year 2022. It might be the year 2023. But the world has that. I don't see how. I don't see how the world lasted that long. It was corrupt when I was a little boy. Now I'm an old man and it's still corrupt. And I don't see how the world lasts so long. So I can't say we're living the last days then. For years, I thought we were living the last days then. I didn't think the world could hold up. Or the world did hold up. So, I won't say we're living the last days then. I'm just saying because they kind of hard to say because I'm glad they saying because one thing I can say about Joe Wayne, brothers and the governing bodies, they did show you in the Bible. They show you in the Bible. They show you see things in the Bible. They show you in the Bible. Well, the people, the anointed, cause I think, I mean, I know I can't swear it, but I think they say that God kicked the devil out of heaven. in Down to Earth in 1914. In 1914, the devil was kicked out of heaven and he came to earth because he had nowhere else to go. Well, at that point of time, God kicked the devil out of heaven and put him down to earth, and he had nowhere to go. Well, he came to earth. And that was 1914, but still, before 1914, I think they were Bible students then. They were Bible, before he came to Joe Winner, they were Bible students, and they got baptized. But those that got baptized after 1914, those that got baptized after 1914, they were no longer the anointed. You know, the anointing was 1914 on down. But, but now, all of a sudden, after that thing, but brothers did give talks. They give not only talk at Kingdom Hall, at seminar, they went in field service, and preached it, and they put in their publication that the people in 1914 is the anointed, and they will go to heaven because they are part of 144,000. Well, at that point, they were part of 144,000, so that means they were going to heaven. But they say that they say Armageddon will come. It's shortly. They said time is near hand. At any moment, Armageddon can come. And then when somebody tells them that nobody, the Bible says, nobody know the time and praise because God will come to you like a thief in the night. Then they say, there's all musical comparison. Well, a woman get pregnant. Well, nobody know when she's going to have a baby, but they know she's in labor and she's going to have a baby. But nobody know, but they know that baby coming soon. They use that as sample, but they did say the one that was baptized in 1914 will still be alive when Armageddon comes. Well, I think the anointing got to be gone. The anointing ain't here no more. But I was examining. I was folk my George Arbor forced me to go come to Georgia because police lied on me. And I was at Public Supermarket, and the supervisor at Public Supermarket in Kensington, they set me up for arrest. I didn't break no law, but they set me up for arrest, and I got my first felony at that particular time. Now, in the meantime, uh, at Fulton Supermarket, they did arrest me, and I got a felony. So Judge Arbor made me go to Columbus, Georgia. I had to go to Columbus, Georgia, and in Columbus, Georgia, I did get baptized. I guess it was 1909, not 1909, but 2009 or 2010, I got baptized. But as I got baptized, I met this brother before I got baptized in Columbus, Georgia. I met this brother named Brother Keith. He was the anointed. And when they told me that brother right there, he is the father of the anointed, I said, I want to meet him. Well, I met him. I said, Brother Keith, you anointed? He said, yeah. And he admitted when he die, he go to heaven. Well, he also admitted. I said, well, you might want to die, because you can go to heaven. He said, no, I don't want to die. But he admitted he don't want to die. But anyway, get off the block a little bit. But he did say he was anointed. And then I found out later on, he got baptized in 1962. 1962? He got baptized in 1962. Well, that way longer than 1914. So, they gave talks on that. They gave talk, and they show you from the Bible that, well, it's a controversial issue, but you have to take their word if you believe in a Jehovah's Witness organization. But anyway, they did say that in 1914, they said people that were baptized before 1914, they said no later than 1914. They said after 1914, you no longer can be anointed. You're not anointed after 1914. Well, they did say the people that was around and baptized in 1914, they still will be alive when Armageddon come. Well, Armageddon come, but the video women were preaching that. They were preaching 2 Timothy 3, verse 1 to 5, but no, in the last days of the end, true down hard to deal with will be him. But I would say it is true time hard to deal with. It's hard for me to deal with. I'm afraid to walk down the street, wondering will police officer arrest me. It's hard to deal with things like, will I ever get my own apartment? 'Cause I got a felony when I didn't break the law. So, it is a trigger time for me, hard to deal with. I know it's trigger time for everybody else, hard to deal with. But at the same time, they'll say we live in that last days end. So Second Timothy, the third verse, 1 to 5 say, but know this, in the last days of the end, but I think the New Testament say, prophecy time, hard to deal with will be him. But the New World Translation say, critical time, hard to deal with will be him. I would say that was a teaching, but it came together. It came together with them saying, uh, when the ones that were baptized in 1914, they'll still be alive when Armageddon comes. Those people in 1914 will still be alive when Armageddon comes. Well, those people didn't hire him because I think they got to be at least 115. I think they got to be 415 years old. And I think all the knowing is dead. But other than that, this is how it goes. So there's so many reasons why I walk by faith, why I walk by sight, not by faith. Now you should walk by faith, not by sight. You need to examine why you feel that way. So my thing is faith. You look at faith and find what faith is. Faith is unknown. It's something that you have to see. Faith is more like a promise. So you gotta have promise, you gotta have faith, and God promises. But yeah, because they say God never changed. God never changed. When God say something, He never changed His mind. But about that, in Bible time, I kind of wrestle with the Bible. I don't know about right Biblia. I'm talking about what I learned about 40 years ago. It's been 40 years, something like that. But I remember some guy. Maybe what his name? Jordan? I forgot his name. Well, God sent him to his city, and this city was very corrupt, and this city was very dangerous. So God sent him there to tell people in that city he was going to destroy that city. And this man, he didn't want to go there, so he moved around and took his time getting there. And all the while, I think he came from the lake or something. I forgot how it go, but a fish swallowed him, and he was in the fish stomach, and then all of a sudden, the fish spit him out. But when that fish spit him out, he ran, and he was there way before he supposed to get there because of that city. But then when he got to that city, he found out there were some good people in that city. So the God sent him that say they were evil. He gonna destroy them. Well, but he found out this guy named Jordan. I forgot his name. But he told God there's some good people in that city. And then God changed his mind and said, I'm not gonna destroy the city. But preachers, Joel, they preach that like when God make up mind, He don't change his mind. God never changed his mind. But according to that Bible, He did change his mind. So automatically, like God make a promise, but people depend on that promise. So that's why they say have faith. Well, if you have faith, well, have faith that you eating barbecue real when you're hungry. Have faith when you get thirsty, you drinking water. Would that come true for you? Well, are you drinking water? No. So you got faith is not reality. So you got to live right in reality. Faith is more like a fantasy, a promise that come. So that's what I'm saying. When the Bible says, well, by faith, not by sight, it kind of like mess up with other things. It mess up with the 7th Genesis, the 3rd verse, 1 to 5 say, but do it in the last days of hand, through the time hard to deal with. That means for a long time, we've been living the last day end. It's about, especially when the publication, they say that the time is near hand. The time is near hand, But if I can understand, they had the truth book, the truth book, and at that time, that was the truth book, but it was called the truth that leads to eternal life. And verse 7 say, grand blessing from God in their hand. At the end of the first year, I'm just tell you a little bit of it, but it say, do you want to live in peace and happiness? Do you desire good long life for yourself and your loved ones? Do you long to see something that we can end? Well, every hard person wants these things, but today, all parts of the earth, we got all kinds of things going on. We got crime, violence, resist. What does this all mean? Why is the world so full of trouble? Does it mean things will get better in our lifetime? Yes, it means something say, yes, it will get better in our lifetime. It's pretty set out in a book that published in more languages than one. That book is the Bible. It tells about God's purpose, about saying, but they do say, if we had the power to bring the world to about ready, would you? They say, of course you will. Everybody under hard purpose want these things. But but in that true book, like what I'm gonna say, so let me go on to this. In the true book, they do mention in one chapter, why is it wise to sever your relation? Well, they say why you sever? They encourage you to sever your relation. That means your women should sever the relation too. So they encourage you to sever your relation. Well, uh, I'm just trying to figure out, I was looking at this thing, and my niece was showing it to me, where well, they had this Joe Winter brother. He was on the committee. He was the elders, and the governing body was speaking about Joe Winter too, and he was talking about how how they were and how they consider the Bible, and he was saying things like that. But actually, I'm a Joe Winter. I don't. The reason I'm a Joe Winter because I went to the brother at that time, and I told brother I want to disassociate myself from the truth. And brother say we cannot disassociate you because you're in good standing with Jehovah and you're in good standing with the congregation. But at the same time, so that means I'm still Joe Winters, but the brother did have that thing that they do. Joe Winter always says have a thing that I don't pull they call them, what they call them, prostate? They call them prostate or something like that. They even click class, the prostate. But I don't supposed to listen to that. Them, those people that lead the organization. I don't supposed to listen to it. If they on TV, I will turn it off or turn on another station. If they on this thing what I'm talking on now, I will turn them off, turn the TV on another station. But I did listen to them. But I'm just trying to figure out, if the Bible say, why is some of your religion? Well, how can some of our religion, unless I listen to other people that been there, but they say you can't listen to them, so it's a conflict there. But now I'm examining the religion, not only the religion of Joe Winter, but I'm examining the religion of Baptist, Catholic, Methodist, and everything. I'm examining everything because at that point I'm no longer walking by faith. I'm walking by sight. And that's what it is right there. So automatically, that's how the wind blow in that situation that go on at a period of time. And things like that. There are, so many times, it conflicts the Bible because I know about Jehovah in the New Testament. It says that people may know that as the New Testament, as Psalms 83:18, it says that people may know you alone is the Lord, the most high on earth. Well, I just find Jehovah's name in that scripture in the New Testament. Joel Wynn preached at a sermon that in the New Testament they mentioned Joel's name. I never saw it. Maybe it is, but I never saw it. But in the Joel Wynn Bible, the New World Translation, it says that you may know that you alone is the most high or earth. Your name is Jehovah. Well, all that I know, I think it was David saying that about Jehovah. That people may know you alone is the most high or earth. Well, that could be a opinionated thing. David say that Jehovah is high or earth. Well, somebody else might say first I'm high or earth. Somebody else might say that Jesus is high or earth. Somebody else might say Moses is high or earth. Over the earth. Somebody might say John, he's the most high or earth. So that's a pretty thing, but that word didn't come from Jehovah. It came from David. I think it was David that said that people may know you alone is the most high word, your name is Jehovah. So the Bible don't prove that Jehovah is the most high word. It's just a man say you alone is the most high word. How did he know that Jehovah is the high or word? He wasn't in heaven. So it's just so many confusing things. That's why I choose to live by faith, not by sight. And I just want to pass that word on to you. I know that a lot of people gonna uh, uh, be critical on me and say that this is that. They're gonna say bad things about me, but I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to preach. So now I'm trying to. I do a lot of wrong. I'll admit I do a lot of wrong, but now I know that I must repent from the wrong I done. I must do a decent things, and I'm working on it hard to be decent and be upstanding. So when I talk to you people, I'm living right myself. And that's what I gotta do. I cannot do what I used to do. But the only thing encouraged me, the Bible say, like somewhere in the Bible, I can't think of that scripture right now. It's been so long. But somewhere in the Bible, I think what Jesus was preaching about. Some of y'all were murderers. Some of y'all were thieves. Some of y'all were adulterers. He was just talking about the sins that some of them were. But he said, now y'all came to me, y'all not these things no more because you repented. So that means Jesus said, you repent, he'll give something a chance because we all imperfect. But you perfect, you become in sin, you're not forgiven. So that goes, well, Jesus not forgiven. Jesus is perfect, and he comes in sin, where the Bible says, get agitated, but don't sin. So Jesus got agitated in sin. Turn on the table, Jacob, he acted like a maniac. And he was a bad example to the head organization. He brought a approach on Jehovah, back with his temple. And he was a perfect man. And a perfect man was the temple. So automatically, so many things, but Jesus did say that you accept it and if you repent. So I'm trying to live right, but it's hard. It's real hard. But I'm trying to live right. And I don't have a time. I can't think about the things I've done because I'm humiliated over things I've done. I'm embarrassed, everything else. But I made a lot of wrong decisions, and sometimes um, I wonder why I'm living to be 68. I just mean say, I die before I let my teenage, before my teenage should leave me. Well, when I got 19, I'm still alive. And people were telling me when I was, I think I was 13, people were telling me, you're not going to live be 15. When I became 16, they said, you ain't going to live be 18. I become 18, you ain't going to live be 20. You ain't going to be a young man. And I become 20, I become 30, but people tell me I'll be dead in a moment. Now I'm 40, now I'm worried, now I'm 50, now I'm embarrassed. Now I'm more embarrassed because I'm 60, I'm 68, and when you 68, that's the most embarrassing thing a man can do, get old. So I got so many things against me. Other than that, I got a lot of changes to make. And I'm gonna try to make these changes, and I'm gonna try to live right so I can tell you people the word that I know. As the time go by, maybe I can change. I don't know. But I'm not gonna fool you people. I'm not right myself. I'm not right. I commit sin. I fantasize on sin. I'm not right myself. I'm not gonna fool you people and say I'm a saint. I'm not a saint. I'm not right, and I know that I do wrong things, make wrong decisions, everything now. I wish I wasn't like that, but I'm not a saint. I just do wrong thing. I think wrong thing, and I'm trying to change. But other than that, I can't preach to God because at that point, it's been proven to me I do not have a God. I do not have a Lord. And sometimes I even wrote a song, sang a song about where's my Lord? Why don't I have a Lord? I need a Lord. Please, Lord, give me a Lord. I need a Lord. And find out what it needs praying for a Lord you would never get. So I'm on my own. It's a terrifying sensation, and I'm horrified over the fact that I don't have a Lord. I'm horrified over the fact I'm on my own. I'm hard about the fact that I'm not going to come to a good end. I'm hard about the fact that my life has been wasted. I'm hard about the fact I'm 68 years old. I'm hard about the fact that I don't have no good days there. I live at my age. I can catch a stroke. I can catch a heart attack. My life is just about over. But still, I know I'm not going to get rewarded for trying to do the right thing. But I'm still saying that I will um, uh, tell the people what I know and speak the truth about it. But a lot of people, when you start calling Jesus a maniac, act like a maniac, they're going to turn against you. When you start saying things like, walk by faith, not by sight, I ain't going to do what you say. The Bible says, walk by faith, not by sight. Well, it comes to tell you, walk by sight, not by a fantasy. So when you want to live in the fantasy world, people walk by faith, not by sight. If you want to live in the world that's not there, and you want to live on the promise that God made. God made a promise he was gonna destroy a city, but he changed his mind. And the church, he always said, God never changed his mind. So automatically, they say God, and what's with that? They quote it. And John 4:8, it say the John 4:8, it say he that not love not come to know God because God is love. Well, God is love, why he made it from dust. That's why again I must walk by sight, not by faith. And that's what my message is to all of you. Walk by sight, not by faith. Don't it make sense to be that way? Because if you walk by faith, well, faith is the unknown. That means you got to practice be a psychic to walk by faith. But even you're a psychic, well, there comes a time you just got to wake up and, realize that you got to walk by sight, not by faith. And I just don't know how long the world gonna last, but I'm just wondering what keeps the world going. Because the world is still hanging on. I don't understand. Well, I see politicians like one now, and I don't hear him because I got the TV down, but I know he lying. He campaigning. I know he lying about what he gonna do, and when they say he gonna do something, they do it, but not done. So they always say how even Donald Trump. They say he in office. He say that everything going right. He say that coming went down, this went down. He said, "One for me, country would have been, will have been destroyed." He just took credit for everything. He said, "I did this, and for me, the country is secure. If God did this, that." Well, Donald Trump said he did so much things, so many good things, but all politicians that become president so stay with the good things they got. If they say, "I got in office," unemployment went down, development went down. And they talk about the good things they done. When they went in office, and the ones that is not in office talk about what they're gonna do. But when they get in office, they don't do it, but they say they done it, and they got caught. So I'm just saying, this world is on a thread. And I'm not gonna say the world gonna come to an end soon. It was I've been say the world, even when I got drawn. said, this world can't last. It was in the 70s. I said, this world can't, sometimes I get along. At that time, I was smoking marijuana. I was smoking marijuana. I used to check out my mind. Check out things, check out world conditions. And I was just saying, this world can possibly last too much longer. It lasts. I said, this world gonna be over in a couple of years. But, a couple of years come by, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. But I just, me, personally, I don't know what keeping this world together. I don't know. I can't figure out. This world for been in with the corruption in the world. We got diseases. We got crime. We got war. We got hatred. We got terrorists. That disease heard we had was that COVID disease. Now, what's gonna happen there? What we gonna get there? Well, first, I remember we had AIDS, BD, we had syphilis, now we had AIDS, now we have that COVID disease. What's gonna happen next? So I don't know how long the world gonna last, but I can't say the time is near hand because for years I've been saying this world can't last too much longer. And don't worry about it. But other than that, I choose to walk by sight, not by faith, and I don't believe in the Bible. The Bible is full of contradiction. In the Bible, well, the Bible say this and that, but it's not always that way. So automatically, when the Bible make claims, well, it don't necessarily come true. So automatically, I just realized that you can't always believe in the Bible. But one scripture I was telling you that you don't want to believe what I'm saying. At least it's similar to fight John 3:16 say, God so loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten Son, whoever believes in him will not perish but gain life. And then 1 John 2:17 says, the word passing away, and so does the size of the world, but he that does the will of God remain forever. So, when one person say, when preachers preach, and Joe Wayne preach, at Keymall, when they preach that God loves something, it's always going to be him. Then God loves Jesus. Well, Jesus, he didn't get too good. But, Jesus died as a young man. I think, how old Jesus when he died? Was he 33? Somewhere in his 30, early 30. But I think he was 33 years old when he died. Well, that incredible is the Bible real. The Bible real. That is incredible. Remember, Jesus was born. What is it, Birmingham? What was it, Birmingham? What was it? I don't know. I think it was Birmingham. Jesus was born, and Mary was his mama, and Joseph was his stepdaddy. Now, in the meantime, when Jesus was a little boy, Mary and Joseph went they went to village after village looking for Jesus because they were worried about Jesus. They were worried sick about a perfect boy. Jesus was perfect. Even as a boy, he was perfect. But they were silly about that guy. They were Jesus. They thought they walked many miles, village to village, knocking on doors, saying, "Have you seen Jesus?" Tell Jesus we were looking for him. And they were worried about Jesus. And they were silly about Jesus. Mary and Joseph were knocking, trying to find Jesus because they were really worried about him. And when they caught up with Jesus, they said, Jesus, we were worried about you. Where you been? Well, Jesus, rather he said, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry that I didn't tell y'all where I was, and forgive me because the Bible say, honor your mama and daddy, and you will long life. That means there's somewhere even something to the third verse. I think it's the fourth chapter, third chapter. It's a in the last day end, people will be disobeying to parents. Well, when Jesus not disobeying to parents, is that what he was? But he was rather than him say, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry that y'all worry about me, but I'm the false temple. No, instead, he disrespect his mom and dad by saying, you should have known I was at the false temple. You should have known. If they should have known, they wouldn't be knocking on door to door trying to find Jesus. But Jesus, another thing, and about I think Mary told about Jesus about making wine. For some reason, Jesus may turn the water into wine at a wedding, but I'm a little bit rusty on that, but it's something like that. And Mary was telling Jesus about that, and Jesus said, "Woman," he called his mama woman. He did his mama. That's the way they talk in those days. Well, in those days, they also rob, steal, kill, and investigate against Jehovah, investigate against God. They did wrong in those days too. So Jesus said, "Woman." Well, that's not a respectable thing to call your mama woman. So many things. So Jesus, as a kid, when that marriage Joe was very sick about him, Jesus said, "You should have known I was for how." You talk about a perfect kid, saying you should have known. Well, I'm telling you, Jesus was a kid of mine. If I was Joseph and Jesus was a kid of mine, and you don't worry about him, and me Mary was not gonna do. Jesus wouldn't be able to sit down for a week. I would got a whoop and I would put something on him. But yeah, the Bible did say, honor your mama and daddy, and you get a long life. Why do you think Jesus died at the age of 33?